Do you ever wake up feeling a little more stiff? A bit more tired than you remember feeling just a few years ago? Perhaps your skin isn't quite as supple, or you find your concentration wavers just a little more easily these days. It's so easy to simply shrug and say, "Oh, that's just getting older." Isn't it? But what if I told you that some of these common signs of aging, the ones that make us feel less vibrant, less energetic, and sometimes even look older than we are, could be directly linked to something incredibly simple, something you do or don't do every single day, without even thinking about it? I'm talking about water. Yes, that clear, unassuming liquid that makes up so much of our bodies. It's absolutely essential for life. But the way many of us drink it, especially after we turn 60, might actually be subtly working against us, speeding up those very processes we associate with getting older. We think we're doing enough, or that a little less won't hurt. But the cumulative effect of certain water drinking habits can be surprisingly powerful in how our bodies age. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 incredibly common, yet often overlooked, water drinking mistakes that many of us make, unknowingly accelerating the aging process from the inside out. But don't worry, we're not just here to point out problems. We'll also talk about simple, practical ways to fix each one, helping you reclaim that youthful bounce and vitality. So, stay with me until the very end, because I'll share something about the true power of proper hydration that might just surprise you and change the way you think about water forever. Let's dive right into the very first mistake that could be adding years to how you feel, and even how you look. It's something many of us are guilty of, and it's simply not drinking water consistently throughout the day. Think about it. How often do you truly sip water steadily from morning until evening? For many, the pattern is to have a big glass in the morning, maybe some with lunch, and then perhaps another a bit later. But there are vast stretches in between where your body is essentially running on fumes, or at least, on very low reserves. Our bodies, especially as we age past 60, have a slightly different relationship with water. Our thirst mechanism can become duller, meaning we don't always feel thirsty even when our bodies are crying out for hydration. Our kidneys also change slightly, which can affect how efficiently we retain fluid. This all means that consistent, gentle hydration is even more crucial. When you're not consistently topping up your fluid levels, your body enters a state of chronic low-level dehydration. And this isn't just about feeling a bit parched. It has a profound impact on every single system in your body, directly influencing how quickly you age. Consider your skin. For example, when you're constantly a little dehydrated, your skin loses its elasticity and plumpness. Fine lines and wrinkles become more pronounced, and your complexion can look dull and tired. It's like a plump grape versus a raisin. The difference is simply water. Beyond the visible signs, think about your joints. Our cartilage, which acts as a cushion between our bones, relies heavily on water to stay flexible and lubricated. Insufficient water means stiffer joints, more aches, and a greater feeling of physical aging. Then there's your energy. If you're constantly feeling fatigued, sluggish, or just generally run down, chronic dehydration could be a major culprit. Water is essential for every metabolic process in your body, including energy production. When you're dehydrated, these processes slow down, leaving you feeling drained. And let's not forget your brain. Brain fog, difficulty concentrating, or even mild memory lapses can often be traced back to insufficient hydration. Your brain is largely water, and when it doesn't get enough, its performance suffers, making you feel less sharp and mentally agile. Even your digestion, which becomes increasingly important for overall health as we age, relies on adequate water for everything from breaking down food to preventing constipation. All these seemingly disparate issues, dull skin, stiff joints, fatigue, brain fog, digestive woes, are hallmarks of accelerated aging and they can all be exacerbated by inconsistent water intake. So, how do we fix this? It's simpler than you might think. Instead of waiting to feel thirsty, make hydration a proactive habit. Keep a water bottle with you throughout the day. A visual reminder to take sips regularly. Set reminders on your phone, or link it to existing habits: a sip after every trip to the bathroom, a sip every time you get up from your chair, a sip before and after every meal. The goal isn't to chug huge amounts at once, but to constantly, gently provide your body with the fluid it needs. Think of a plant. You don't water it once a week with a massive flood. You give it a little bit regularly to keep it thriving. Our bodies are very much the same. Now, closely related to not drinking consistently, and perhaps even more insidious, is our second mistake: waiting until you're absolutely parched to drink. Many of us grew up with the idea that you drink when you're thirsty, and that's it. But here's the crucial point: by the time you actually feel thirsty, your body is already in a state of dehydration. Thirst is your body's alarm system, signaling that fluid levels have dropped below optimal. It's a survival mechanism, not an optimal hydration strategy. And as we discussed, as we age, that thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive, meaning you might be quite dehydrated before your brain even sends out the thirst signal. This means that if your hydration strategy is simply to wait for that dry mouth feeling, you're likely operating in a state of mild, cumulative dehydration day after day, week after week. This constant underhydration puts a low-grade stress on every cell and every organ in your body. It's like trying to run a race when you're already starting a lap behind. Your cells aren't functioning at their peak. Your metabolic processes are sluggish, and your body's ability to repair and rejuvenate itself is compromised. Imagine your car's fuel gauge. You don't wait until it's blinking on empty before you decide to fill up. Do you? You keep it topped off, making sure you always have enough fuel to get where you need to go without stress. Your body is exactly the same. When you're constantly playing catch-up with your hydration, you're putting unnecessary strain on your kidneys, your heart, and your entire circulatory system. Over time, this cumulative stress on your body's systems can accelerate cellular aging, diminish organ function, and make recovery from even minor stressors, like a busy day or a short walk, much harder. You might experience more headaches, persistent fatigue that no amount of sleep seems to fix, dizziness when standing up too quickly, or muscle cramps even without strenuous exercise. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They're your body's way of telling you it's struggling. And consistently ignoring them means you're allowing the aging process to gain an unnecessary foothold. The solution here builds directly on the first point: proactively hydrate. Make it a conscious habit to drink small amounts of water at regular intervals throughout your day. Before thirst sets in, start your day with a glass of water right when you wake up. Even before your morning coffee or tea, have a glass of water before each meal. Sip water while you're reading, watching television, or working on a hobby. If you take medication, use that as a cue to have a full glass of water. And yes, even a small sip before bed can be beneficial. Just enough to keep you comfortable through the night without causing too many trips to the bathroom. By making these small, consistent efforts, you ensure your body stays optimally hydrated, giving your cells the best environment to thrive, repair, and resist the subtle, insidious march of time. These first two mistakes often go hand in hand, creating a cycle of underhydration that many of us simply attribute to getting older. But there's another common trap many of us fall into, one that involves what we choose to drink instead of pure water. Beyond just how much and how often we drink, the very type of liquid we choose can have a profound impact on our hydration and, by extension, our aging process. And this brings us to our third common mistake: swapping plain water for sugary drinks, excessive caffeine, or alcohol. It's incredibly easy to fall into this trap. A chilled soda on a hot day, that extra cup of coffee to beat the afternoon slump, or a glass of wine with dinner. These all seem like innocent choices, even refreshing ones. But for many people over 60, relying on these beverages instead of pure water can be a significant hydration misstep, actively accelerating how quickly our bodies age. Let's start with sugary drinks. I'm talking about sodas, sweetened fruit juices, even the ones marketed as natural, sports drinks, and energy drinks. While they might contain water, the sheer amount of added sugars in them creates a cascade of negative effects that far outweigh any hydration benefits. These sugars contribute to inflammation throughout the body, which is a key driver of accelerated aging. Chronic inflammation can damage cells, contribute to stiffening of arteries, impact joint health, and even lead to a less vibrant complexion. Sugary drinks also contribute to weight gain and can lead to insulin resistance, conditions that are strongly linked to chronic diseases and premature aging. They can give you a momentary sugar high followed by a crash, which often feels like fatigue, further masking the underlying dehydration your body might be experiencing. Your body has to work hard to process all that sugar, diverting resources that could otherwise be used for repair and rejuvenation. Then there's excessive caffeine, often in the form of multiple cups of coffee or strong tea throughout the day, and alcohol. Both of these substances are diuretics. This means they increase the frequency and volume of urination, causing your body to excrete more fluid than you're taking in. So, while you might feel like you're drinking something, you could actually be pushing your body further into dehydration. Think of it like this: if you have a coffee or alcoholic beverage, your body might need more plain water to compensate for the fluid loss. This doesn't mean you have to give up your morning cup of coffee or an occasional glass of wine. Not at all. The key is balance and moderation. If you enjoy coffee or tea, try to balance each cup with an equal amount of plain water for every alcoholic drink. Make sure to follow it up with a glass of water. Prioritize plain water as your primary beverage throughout the day. If you crave fizz, try sparkling water with a slice of lemon or lime instead of a sugary soda. Gradually reducing your reliance on these alternatives and consistently choosing water will give your body a far better chance to thrive and age gracefully. It's like trying to water a garden with soda. It might look wet for a moment, but it won't nourish the plants properly. In fact, it could harm them over time. Beyond what we drink, how and when we drink can also have a surprising impact on our aging process. And that brings us to our fourth common mistake: drinking water that's too cold, or consuming it primarily with large meals. This might sound a little peculiar, but stick with me, because it really does make a difference, especially as we age. Let's first talk about water temperature. Many people love ice-cold water, especially on a hot day, while refreshing in the moment. For some people, especially as they get older, constantly drinking very cold water can be a bit of a shock to the digestive system. Cold can cause blood vessels in the stomach and intestines to constrict, which could potentially slow down the digestive process and make it harder for your body to absorb nutrients efficiently. Think of it this way: your body has to expend extra energy to warm that cold water up to body temperature before it can really use it. For some, it might even lead to minor stomach discomfort or bloating. While this isn't a hard and fast rule for everyone, some ancient health traditions, like Ayurveda, emphasize drinking room temperature or warm water to support digestive fire. The point isn't that cold water is inherently harmful, but that room temperature or slightly cool water might be gentler on your system and allow for better absorption without expending extra energy. Now, about drinking water primarily with large meals. Many of us use water as a way to wash down our food or to help us feel full during a meal. But drinking large quantities of water right with your meals, especially heavy ones, can actually dilute your digestive enzymes and stomach acid. These are vital for breaking down your food effectively, especially proteins and fats. When these digestive juices are diluted, your stomach struggles to properly digest your meal, making it harder for your body to absorb all the wonderful vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients from your food. And nutrient absorption is absolutely crucial for anti-aging. Your cells need a steady supply of these building blocks for repair, regeneration, and maintaining healthy functions like skin elasticity, bone density, and cognitive sharpness. If you're not efficiently absorbing nutrients, your body isn't getting the fuel it needs for cellular health, which can contribute to premature cellular aging and an overall feeling of diminished vitality. You might experience more bloating, indigestion, or even nutrient deficiencies over time, all of which contribute to feeling and looking older. So, what's the fix for water temperature? Try to opt for room temperature or slightly cool water throughout the day. It's often more pleasant to sip consistently anyway. For mealtime hydration, the best practice is to sip water throughout the day, and particularly between meals. Aim to have a glass of water about 30 minutes before a meal to help prepare your digestive system. And then wait an hour or so after eating before drinking a large amount of water again. If you need a little water during a meal to help swallow or with medication, small sips are perfectly fine, but don't rely on it to quench your thirst during a meal. That thirst should have been taken care of by consistent sips between meals. Think of your stomach as a delicate chemical lab where precise reactions are happening. You wouldn't pour a bucket of water into a precise chemical reaction. Right. You'd add things carefully. By making these subtle adjustments to the temperature and timing of your water intake, you're giving your digestive system the best chance to do its vital work, ensuring your body gets all the anti-aging nutrients it deserves. So, we've talked about consistency, proactive drinking, avoiding dehydrating alternatives, and even the temperature and timing of your sips. But there's one final, crucial mistake that often goes unnoticed, and it's all about listening to your own body. This brings us to our fifth and perhaps most insidious water drinking mistake: dismissing your body's subtle dehydration signals. Our bodies are incredibly intelligent, constantly sending us little whispers and nudges about what they need. But in our busy lives, or simply because we've been conditioned to ignore them, we often dismiss these signals as just feeling tired, a normal headache, or getting older. For those of us over 60, learning to truly tune into these signals is paramount, because ignoring them means you're operating in a persistent state of suboptimal hydration, allowing the aging process to wear down your systems unnecessarily. What are these subtle whispers? They aren't always obvious thirst. Sometimes it's that nagging, dull headache that seems to appear mid-afternoon, instead of immediately reaching for a pain reliever. Try a tall glass of water first. You might be surprised at how quickly it resolves. Another common signal is fatigue, or a general lack of energy. Even when you've had enough sleep, your body uses water for every cellular process, including energy production, if you're feeling sluggish. A glass of water might be more effective than another cup of coffee or a sugary snack. Dry lips, even when you're not in a dry environment, are a clear sign your body needs more fluid. Check the color of your urine. Ideally, it should be a pale, straw-like yellow. If it's darker, it's a clear indication that you need more water. Even less obvious signs can include unexplained muscle aches or cramps, particularly in your legs, or persistent brain fog that makes it hard to focus or recall things. And a very common one, especially as we age, is constipation. Water is essential for keeping your digestive system moving smoothly, and without enough, things can grind to a halt, causing discomfort and contributing to overall toxic buildup. Ignoring these signals means your body is continuously working harder than it needs to. This cumulative stress wears down your systems over time. Your cells struggle to perform their functions optimally. Your organs work overtime, and your body's natural repair mechanisms become less efficient. This leads to accelerated cellular aging, reduced vitality, and an overall feeling of wearing out faster than you should. It's like trying to run a car with low oil. Eventually, things break down. The solution here is to cultivate greater body awareness. Make it a practice to pause throughout your day and simply check in with yourself. How do you feel? Are your lips dry? Is your brain feeling a little fuzzy? Try associating these feelings with the possibility of dehydration. Keep a mental checklist, or even a small notebook for a few days. To connect these subtle feelings with your water intake, you might be amazed at how many times your body is whispering to you, "I need water." We've journeyed through these 5 surprisingly common water drinking mistakes: not drinking consistently throughout the day, waiting until you're parched to drink, choosing harmful alternatives like sugary drinks or excessive caffeine, mismanaging the temperature and timing of your water with meals, and perhaps most importantly, tuning out your body's quiet pleas for hydration. By understanding and addressing these simple errors, you're not just drinking water, you're investing in every single cell of your body, allowing it to function at its peak. This translates into more supple skin, greater energy, a sharper mind, healthier joints, smoother digestion, and an overall feeling of genuine vitality that defies the calendar. Remember, dear friends, every single day is a new opportunity to nurture your body. These aren't complex, expensive solutions that require drastic lifestyle changes. They are simple, mindful shifts in habit that can profoundly change how you experience your later years. You don't have to overhaul everything at once. Start with just one small change, maybe today. It's just committing to that first glass of water when you wake up, or making an effort to sip water consistently between meals instead of only at meal times. Each little step forward, each conscious choice to hydrate better, is a significant victory for your health and well-being. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Have you made any of these mistakes without realizing it? Or perhaps you've discovered a fantastic, simple tip for staying hydrated that you'd like to share with our community? Drop a comment below. Let's learn from each other. Your experiences and insights are so incredibly valuable. And if this video resonated with you, if it gave you something useful to think about and implement, please give it a thumbs up. It truly helps our channel reach more wonderful people just like you who are looking to live their best lives. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We're here to share more practical, simple ways to help you feel vibrant, energetic, and truly live your best life at every age. Your body is an incredible machine, and with a little mindful care, especially when it comes to something as fundamental as water, you can truly unlock a deeper sense of vitality and well-being. Here's to embracing every year with energy, clarity, and genuine joy. Live your best life at every age, and remember, a well-hydrated you is a happier, healthier you.